How we doing today, everybody? It is October 8th, 2023. It is 10:54 a.m. and it is the professional trader, aka the funded trader, aka Osman Alfalavi, back here with another video. Today's video is just going to be a weekly outlook on the Forex markets, just taking a look at some things that I see, how I see the markets, and how I plan on reacting to the markets, right? If certain things line up. Along with that, I'll also be updating my FTMO account for anybody who is following me on that journey. So let's just go ahead and get started. Before we take a look at the Forex markets, let's go ahead and take a look at Forex Factory so we can just be aware of the news that is coming out for the week. We start off from Sunday to Friday. So Sunday we have nothing. Monday we have some yellow folder news. Tuesday we have some more yellow folder news, and Wednesday is when we start to see some of these red folder news. So we have core PPI and PPI, and then we also see we have FOMC meeting. Thursday we have some GDP news for GBP, and then we see we have some pretty big news on Thursday. We have unemployment, CPI, core CPI, and on Friday we have prelim UOM consumer sentiment. We have sentiment reports coming out. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, pretty technical analysis for those days. And then, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll see how those fundamentals play into the Forex markets. So just good knowledge to have, just good things to be aware of. So, before we take a look at some Forex pairs, we could take a look at the DXY. Let's go ahead and start from the weekly chart. Just pointing out the most obvious, right, on the DXY. We see that we had this break of this resistance level right here, right? Right. We saw that price had failed once, two times, three times, right, before we got that, pretty clean close above the structure right here, right? But then last week we see that price was able to come up all the way here, but then retrace all of that and even close slightly bearish, right? So we look at what happened here, right? And then we see that we have, a lot of noise in this area, right? We saw we had a big impulse followed by price kind of retesting and then followed by price, retesting, a second time. So we see that we had price react to this level two times, right? So just something to be aware of, right? And then we kind of have the same thing going on right here, right? We saw price reject here, go up, retest down here, go down, retest down here again, right? And that this support even became resistance, right? So up here, we have just some structural awareness, that we should be aware of. So, it makes sense that, why the DXY potentially lost some momentum around here, right? After all these weeks of trending up, you know, is this where it finally meets the resistance and continues to trend back down? So, there's something we need to be aware of. But we see that we have this obvious resistance level right here, right? And can this resistance level now hold as support? And that's all I'll be looking for, for the DXY. Can we see this? Can we see this level hold, right? This level that it's coming back down to. Can we see a hold and start to trend higher and start to break, these resistance levels up here? And if that doesn't happen and we see this potential support, could we see that get broken? Can we see a clean break of this right here, and can we see this trend down? And if that happens, to me, the next, obvious level of support would be, maybe in this region right here. So just want to see if this level can hold right here, right? And if it doesn't, we'll be looking for other areas where price can potentially catch that bounce. And that's just a weekly analysis, but price isn't too far from heading to these levels, right? We see once the market opens, we'll basically be right, at this once resistance level. And if this could hold, then we should see price continue to head back up. But if it doesn't, and we close below this wick low right here, then we should expect this to start to trail down a little bit more. So take that knowledge of the DXY, not being a buy or sell at the moment, and we apply that, to other Forex pairs, and we look for you know, how do we buy this market if this happens, and how do we look for sales, if this happens, and I apply the same thing to AUD USD. And interestingly enough, AUD USD, just like how the DXY has met its resistance, AUD USD has met its support, right? So we see that we have this obvious low right here, right? And then we also have the small support, right? And we see that price barely missed it, right? Maybe by like a pip before, kind of looking like it's potentially reversing to the, not reversing, but, gave up half of the movement, that it did. So AUD USD, something that, we just need to be cautious of, right? We have the support level down here, we have the support level down here. And for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 8 weeks, we see we've just kind of been in this, we just kind of been in this range, to truth be told. Price just kind of bouncing from here to here. So, what's gonna happen with AUD USD? Are we gonna get a break below this wick right here? And are we gonna see price, start to head down here? And not the biggest of moves, right? And wouldn't really be looking to short it from the retest here, but would be looking for a clean break of the structure right here, right? If we could get the clean break with the retest, then we'd be looking to enter this move, right? And if that doesn't happen and we see the dollar start to get pretty weak, are we going to see a break of this resistance level right here, right? And if we can't get a retest, I'll be looking to to buy this chart to the next level of obvious resistance, which is right here. And that's a weekly setup. So we take that on the daily, and price isn't too far from either one of these regions, right? We're going to get the clean break, you know, from here. We're going to get that clean break with the clean retest. And not the best risk to reward if this did happen, because let's say that does happen, right? Stop loss would be right here. And that's still 97 pips, so still a good amount of pips. And then stop loss would be right, just below the wicks that happened. And then could be looking to potentially short it back down here. And if this support level gets broken down, then the risk to reward just becomes that much greater. But are we gonna get that, or are we gonna get the break of the structure right here? And if that happens, you know, simple. There's no need to overcomplicate it. And the risk to reward, is uh a little bit better here. It looks like it's potentially a little bit better. Stop loss would be, right just below these wicks, and then we'd be looking to take it, to these levels of resistance here. So, it's two ways we can play this chart. Just have to see, how strong is the dollar this week, right? USD CAD. I've gone ahead and marked up some levels on USD CAD, right? So, on USD CAD, we see for the last several weeks we've been trending up. We even had this. Let me come delete this. We even had this resistance level right here that looks like it kind of wanted to get broken. It went up all the way up here, right? But it wasn't able to close below these resistance levels right here, right? And we see that USD CAD has failed every time it's been up in this region, right? We saw price come up here, fall, tried to come up here again, fall, and now it's right back in this area, right? And follow we have this body that looks like it's literally been retraced about maybe a little bit more than 50%, right? It went all the way up here and ended up closing literally about, looks like more than half of what it went up there. So, is it time for USD CAD to do this again? Is it time for USD CAD to just catch that seller momentum? So, just something that we need to be aware of. Or are we finally going to get, the break of the structure right here? And are we going to start to see this, trending up? I'm not sure. Oil does look pretty weak. DXY has been pretty strong, other than Friday, but it'll be interesting to see what happens on USD CAD, right? Kind of like DXY, USD CAD broke on the daily. We broke this once resistance level, and it's right back here again, right? So when the markets open up, we'll be looking to see if USD CAD, can hold this level right here, right? Can what was once resistance now become support? And and can we start to head back, to these highs, on USD CAD? Or are we going to see a weak dollar, and are we going to see are we going to see a clean break below the structure? And if that happens, it looks like we'll be potentially heading down to these next levels of support. So that's how I plan on playing USD CAD. But just have to be patient and see how that works out. Don't want to rush into these trades yet. Don't want to give up all the profits, that I've made. So just need to be cautious. But if we can see some rejections in this area, we'll be looking to go long. And if we don't, and if we see this level break, we'll be looking to short it to this next level of support. GBPUSD, GBPUSD is a pretty interesting chart as well too, right? Because we have this, obvious level of support right down here, right? Kind of like AUDUSD, price looks like it's kind of just been trending lower and lower, looking like it wants to go ahead and touch that support level down here, right? But you know, we have this pretty big wick in this area right here, right? So it's seeming like price may never come down and touch this area right here, right? But if you look left on the weekly chart, we see that after price made this low, it pulled back up here, right? Came down, made the support level, pulled up here one more time, and made the support level, right? And was kind of going back and forth, in this general area, right? So I'm looking left and I'm seeing like there's just all this noise, right? There's just this little noise. And then we go ahead and we look at that on the daily. We see that, this was, a little bit of resistance in this area, right? So it makes sense, why price potentially might not head down here, right? Because we have all this noise right here. So looking at GBP USD, keeping it pretty simple. Um, you know, are we going to see the break above? We had this break of support level right here, right? Are we going to see price come and retest this and continue to potentially fall back again? Are we going are we going to see price come up here, and reject this level and potentially fall again? Or even though we have this mini resist, even before it gets up here, right? We have this mini resistance potential double top. So, even here, right? Or are we going to see this level fail again, get a close below here? And if that happens, we'll be looking to take this over here. So, just a couple of potential moves, a couple of potential things, that could happen on GBP USD. So, it'll be interesting, right? Just what's the dollar going to do this week? Is it going to be strong or is it going to be bearish, right? Hmm. So, a couple of places, this chart could still be sold from, right? We see that we have this resistance here. Price can sell over here, but we see on the daily time frame we have where price actually broke the support level up here, right? This is about 36 pips from there, right? So can price find resistance here and continue to drop, or is price going to come and touch where it broke and continue to potentially fall? And or is price going to come down here, break here, and then potentially catch it? So, couple potential places a sell could be caught from, but if none of those levels hold and the dollar is just very bearish, and we get a clean break, above this support level down here, and we can get a clean break, and we can get a retest either here or down here, and we'll be looking to take this to the next support level, which is down in this area right here. So a couple ways to play GBP USD, but just we have to see what the dollar is going to do. EURUSD is a little bit more interesting because unlike the other ones, it has actually came and hit that support level down here, right? So To keep it pretty simple on Euro USD, are we going to get the breaks above this support level down here, followed by price, continuing to trend down? Or are we going to see this chart, start to, are we going to see a retest here, fall? Kind of like the same thing with GBPUSD. Are we going to see come up here and fall? If those don't hold, and we see just a very bullish dollar, we're going to get a clean break and a retest. And if you can get that retest, we'll be looking to take it to this resistance level up here. And, this is from here to here. This is about 100 pips. So good risk to rewards either way it goes. But, we just have to see what is the dollar going to do. Is the dollar going to be strong? Is the dollar going to be weak? And, I can't tell the future. So not really, not gonna say, but just have to see. Just have to see. So that's how I feel about GBPUSD. USDCHF. USDCHF is a pair that I kind of like. Um, it's kind of like the same thing with a lot of them, but you know, we see that EURUSD for the past several weeks has been trending up. We see we had this resistance level up here, that got broke, not like with the biggest momentum, but we did break this resistance level up here, right? And now it looks like resistance is support. A lot of the same things are happening with the forex pairs and the USD related pair. you know uh can resistance now be support? So we broke this level and now it seems like we're retesting this level. So I just want to see if can price hold this level, right? Can it? And if it can't, and we see the break of this, if I can get a good retest, we'll be looking to, take this literally back down to the next support level, down, down over here, which at least that's what I believe. So, you know, um, pretty interesting on USDCHF. I like USDCHF the most right now because I feel like the structure, like the risk to reward on either side is great, right? If it goes long, you know, from down here to this next resistance level is 100 plus pips. And then even if we break that, we have potential to literally go for 340 pips. And if we break down this way and we can get a retest, then we have the ability to do 250 pips. So like USDCHF the most right now because I feel like whichever way it goes, the risk to reward is great. So you just have to see how it's going to play out. Gold, we see gold kind of like Euro USD. Gold has potentially found some support down here. Um, so gold, pretty simple, right? Are we gonna get a clean break over here? And if that happens, we'll be looking to get in, or are we going to see an impulse move, breaking this structure right here? And if that happens, can we head back to these levels right here? And just gonna keep it pretty simple on gold, right? What's gonna happen, or and this right here could be also be a take profit. So just have to see what's gonna happen on gold. Is the dollar gonna be bullish? Is the dollar gonna be bearish? And I know I might sound like a broken record, but that's the name of the game. U.S. oil, you see that's been dropping hot, dropping like it's hot. And it seems like it's kind of closed below the support level right here. So as long as we don't start to break back higher and things like that, to me this looks bearish until further notice. So if this continues to go down, USDCAD has potential to continue to go up. GBP not really trading GBP just because the yen is kind of in a weird place in my personal opinion. Same thing with CAD JPY. Euro AUD. Um, Euro AUD. Just looking to see if this week can we break this resistance level right here, right? I seen last week the market headed up here one more time, and it seems like it's rejected. But price has been making these lower highs, right? It's not going lower for not anymore at least. So, can we see the break of this right here? And if we can get a retest, we'll be looking to take this to resist to the next resistance levels, which is like somewhere up here. So that's how I feel about URAUD. It'll be real interesting on the markets this week. Just because from a technical analysis standpoint, but the DXY doesn't look. I mean, I'm not gonna call this bearish just yet, but not looking like too hot right now. But from a fundamental standpoint, the dollar is still bullish, but technical analysis is not really agreeing with that. And that's what we saw right here, right? NFP came out, the numbers were good for the dollar, but the technical didn't agree with that. And fundamentals and technical analysis, don't always have to go they go hand in hand, but these are one of the times where, the strength of technical analysis is not lining up with the fundamentals. But we'll see how long that lasts for, right? Are we gonna see that continuation this week or not? And we'll just have to be here for it. So that's my outlook for the week. Go to my FTMO account, refresh the page. I I am up 3.89%, so just a little bit under 4%. Took some losses last week, nothing too crazy, but we're just trying to catch those swing momentums, and that just didn't happen. But we'll be looking for the same thing this week. Won't be looking to risk all my capital on one trade. We'll just be looking to get those consistent steady gains. So yeah, thank you to anybody who's watching. I really appreciate anybody who is liking, commenting, subscribing. It really does mean a lot. This is like a community now. Appreciate my brother Kailash every time he comes on this stream with me, and makes these videos with me. I learned a lot watching him. So let's have a good trading week, everybody. Let's not lose our capital. Let's always remember to thank God, and just be great. So thank you guys. Have a great trading week.